What's going on, everybody? It's Brian Trippe. Welcome to another episode of the REI Live podcast. We are real estate investing live. If we are not in your city, we are coming to your city very soon. That is a promise. We have on the show today my very good friend, and he's coming live from San Diego, yes. Mr. Claude Diamond. How's it going today, Claude?
Hey, man. I can't wait for tomorrow because I get better looking every day. Who said that?
I have no idea.
Don't name it. No, thank you for having me back again. This is number 2, right?
Number 2. You're one of the very few guests that have had multiple podcast appearances. Hold on. Did you say that was Joe Namath?
Joe Namath said, I can't wait for Broadway Joe, famous quarterback, New York Jets, Super Bowl champions. He said, I can't wait for tomorrow because I get better looking every day. How important is that to have enthusiasm and self-esteem and confidence? To be successful in business, you have to be your own biggest fan, don't you?
I agree, but let me correct you just a little bit, Claude, if you don't mind. Broadway Joe, not the famous quarterback from the New York Jets, Super Bowl champion. We don't care about that. We're in Alabama. He is a national champion from the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Oh, okay. Okay. He's from Alabama, huh?
He went to Bama. Yes, sir.
Okay. Son of a gun.
That's why I thought you said Joe Namath, so we had to touch on that. So Claude is on the show. We're going to talk about sales today. Claude was on the show. He was one of my very first guests from out of the state of Birmingham, or out of the state of Alabama, out of Birmingham. But we didn't really talk about, I kind of interviewed you as what it's like to be a guru, what it's like to be in your position. We didn't really get into the nuts and bolts of sales, how to talk to sellers and things like that. So I want to talk about that with you. Got some questions. We definitely give good phone. We want to talk about the 3-minute timer.
Don't leave home without it.
We're going to talk about a book you recommended to me that is now one of my all-time favorite sales books. We're going to talk about this. And I got all these props, and we're going to talk about a giveaway that Claude's going to give us a book before we leave. And I might give you a book as well that Claude Diamond wrote the foreword to. My book. So we got a lot to talk about. But before we talk about any of that, Claude, there might be just a few people out there that don't know who you are. Kind of give people a background. How did you get into real estate? How did you get into sales? Just kind of give us some background on you.
I'm originally from New York City. That's why I talk a little funny, and now I live in California and Colorado and North Carolina. I had corporate jobs and I wasn't very happy. I didn't have the freedom. What do we all want? We want freedom from financial worry, freedom to live life under our own terms and beliefs, freedom to take a nap in the middle of the day if we want, not get in our car and spill coffee on our legs all the time like I do. And I met somebody. I was interested in real estate. I went to all the gurus, all the seminars, had all the motivation, but none of the perspiration. And I needed to learn what I was doing wrong. I was tenacious. I studied. I went to all those bad meetings in the Holiday Inn with the bad coffee and the stale Danish, with the gurus jumping up and down. And I went there and I did some real estate deals, and they weren't very good. I was basically working for my tenants. But I wanted to stay in real estate because I wanted to leave the corporate world. And I met this one man who is my mentor, Max. I've written several books about him. The Mentor Teaches Success, The Mentor Teaches Guts. And I met a person who could get on the phone and have fun and make more money in one phone call than I made in a whole year in a corporate job with a business and a law degree. And man, that just turned me on. I just said, I want that secret sauce that he has. But what was missing? And the missing link for me, and for I think a lot of people, because I've been teaching this a while, is the sales factor. Giving good phone, learning how to just be comfortable and confident, talking with people, and not sounding like that robot we hear all the time. So I've been in this business about 30 years. I love it. I am debt-free. I am mortgage-free. We have great properties that bring us an income. We have notes. Here's a note I did this morning, $750 a month every month. Just one little note. We have a lot of notes. And, just fun stuff. And I can work under my own terms. We raised our kids in the home. We homeschooled them. We traveled. to escape that financial worry that so many people have, where there's more month than money. Real estate and sales gave me that.
Yeah. So, Claude, you mentioned something that I find fascinating, and that's the word freedom. A lot of people get into the real estate business because they say they want time, they want freedom, they don't want the financial worry and things like that. But I would argue that even the most successful of real estate investors end up sacrificing the true freedom to try to build like a big business. You have been able to do something which I think is pretty unique, actually. You're doing a lot of your sales and get a lot of your income from home. You get to do
I'm a homebody. What's wrong with that? I love being small. I'm the little, you know what? Somebody once taught me, low overhead and high profit and working from your comfortable, wonderful home. Clean bathrooms and good coffee, although this is a Starbucks cup. But the thing about it is that freedom to live, you don't have to have 30, 40, 50 employees. You don't have to have this unbelievable overhead for an outside office and everything. I work from home. I started on the kitchen table. I'm proud of it. You can build $1 million business working from home, keeping your overhead low, giving people unbelievable value. And that's the thing I try to be the doctor of real estate. I want to be the problem solver to people. And if I can do that working from my home, nobody cares that I work from home. Nobody minds. And I'm on video all day, by the way. I do my mentoring. I mentor people one-on-one on my gut sales and lease purchase training. I do it on video, on Skype, on Zoom, which we're on now. And I don't think it's ever been an issue. I think most people want to work from home. It's comfortable. It's warm. You don't have to commute anymore. What's wrong with that, Brian?
There's nothing wrong with that. And that led me to my question is a lot of people tried to build these big businesses. I did that. I was guilty of that. 2014, 2015, I had a really big wholesale business with a really big overhead of $15,000, $18,000, $20,000 a month. That was the nut I had to crack just to break even every month. And there are people that have gotten into this business and have bought into that lie, whether they did it on purpose or just subconsciously felt like that is the route they had to go. You're living proof that that is not the route you have to go. So the question is, let's give some people listening some practical, I love the how-to stuff, the step-by-step stuff. How can someone begin to get a real estate career, real estate business off the ground by not leaving their home?
First thing is it's a couple things. Most people, you need the knowledge. First of all, you need to know the strategies of real estate. You have to understand the business you're in. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to cross every T and dot every I, but you need some fundamental knowledge. You need that. Next, you need a marketing plan so that you have people to speak to, leads. And the third one, which should be the first, and it's the most important, is you've got to be superb, mark my words, superb in persuasion and influence. You could have the best, you could go to every guru and learn every strategy out there. There's plenty of them out there. You could have spend a fortune on leads and kill your overhead. Just kill yourself with overhead. But if you can't convert that person in the phone, just before we did this phone call, my word of honor, I just did a deal on this deal. Okay, it's worth about $12,000. That's fun. That is so much fun. By the sweat of your own brow, your skill set. So we tend to focus on the wrong things, and we focus on the sales first, and then focus on the strategies and on the marketing, or put the greatest emphasis on your ability to persuade people using the right words at the right time. That is the order that I would recommend to anybody if they want to be successful. I've seen too often. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You've seen too often? Go ahead.
I've seen too often people spend unbelievable amounts of money studying all the strategies, getting all the things, and they spend more money on the computers and all the different things they think they need and the virtual assistants and all that stuff. And then I just got off the phone with someone the other day. They wasted $18,000 on marketing for garbage leads. I do virtual. Guts marketing is about attracting quality leads, not chasing blind leads that are costly but attracting people. People call me with deals when they need help in sales or they need a mentor or they have a house. I get calls all the time. Last week, a lady who saw my video taught me a multi-million-dollar deal in Los Angeles. And she called me with that deal. This is a big deal. It could be a couple of years' income, one little deal. She called me because she saw a video on YouTube. How much fun, how nice is that to have those quality leads? So we need to focus on the ability to persuade another human being that we're trustworthy, that we add value to the transaction.
You said be superb in influence and persuasion.
Yes.
Is that a skill anyone can learn, or do you feel like you have to kind of be born with that little it factor?
It's a great question. Truth be told, let me have a little drink here and a little sodium pentothal. I'm the former world's worst salesman. I couldn't give away money on the street corner. I hated sales. I found it embarrassing. I felt that people were talking down to me, humiliating me. And it was the most uncomfortable thing in the world, being rejected by people all day long. And I learned this because I wanted to be free. I wanted to make money. And I had to overcome the personality trait. I'm the guy who sat in the back of the room and didn't make eye contact and never raised his hand or anything. And if I can change, anybody can change. If you want it bad enough, you can make it happen.
So Claude, it's just so hard to believe someone sitting in this seat, someone who may be listening to this or watching this, that you are such an incredible personality.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It is. I think you're affable. You're great with people. And to say that you were the guy that was shrinked back in the corner of the room is just, it doesn't add up in my mind. So let's give people.
That was me. Word of honor. Honest.
And I believe you. So give people listening, because I'm just a huge action type of person. The how to. What are some very, very specific things people can do who may be listening to this saying that I'm that guy or I'm that gal and I'm the one shrink back in the corner. I'm not good at sales, Claude. I need help. What are some very specific things I can do to get better?
That's why I invented the G.U.T.S sales system. Great, unorthodox, untraditional techniques of sales. You've got to have a system of sales where you're not just giving dog and pony show, boring, repetitive, scripted presentations all day. Nobody wants that phone call anymore. We're getting too many robot calls, too many phone rooms calling us. They want to have a conversation with someone who they feel is on their side, wants to help them, also has solutions. You're an authority figure. You're somewhere between a therapist and maybe a thespian on the phone. And you have to have a system where you learn how to ask questions. A thespian, it's not a dirty word. It means actor.
Okay. we enunciated that correctly.
And so I developed, by the way, can I give this book away for free to your audience, or is it too early?
As long as you give me one.
Yeah, you get one. Everybody just say, I love Brian Trippe. Send me an email to mentor@mac, or go to my webpage. It says free book. Then put in there and say, I love Brian Trippe. And I will send you my $99 book, my brand new book. Just wrote it. I've written 9 different books on real estate and sales. This book has the role plays in it. It has the 50 strategies, the 50 rules of being successful in sales, giving good phone. This is the stuff that gave me a life of freedom, from financial worry. And I'm giving it away free to your audience if they want. They just have to go to my webpage, ClaudeDiamond.com.
Go to ClaudeDiamond.com. Enter the promo code, I love Brian Trippe. I'm just kidding. I
love Brian Trippe, and you get a free $99 book just
That's
because
incredible.
You're following a good guy. Now, see, when I give away, and what's the method of my madness? Did I do this because I'm Albert Schweitzer? Why did I just do this move? Let's be totally transparent.
Yeah, you're trying to provide value. You're hoping that not everyone, but some will reciprocate, and some will want.
Someone will discover me. Yes, someone will say, "Hey, I like this guy. Let me get the free book." And now I have maybe a new prospect I'll do a deal with, or someone will buy my products or services. Why can't we be this honest in sales?
Totally.
Why do we have to play this game? People are intelligent. We all want the same thing. Why not be honest about it?
So let's translate this directly to, let's kind of get it off the maybe the mentorship stuff, and let's translate this to the real estate stuff. Like you just said, let's be transparent. Let's just get it out of the way. How do we actually translate that to a seller call when maybe a seller calls and has a house that they're trying to sell?
Ring, ring, say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Trippe, how come that beautiful home of yours hasn't sold yet? I saw it popped up on the expired listings. What's going on here?
Yeah.
I had to call you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, nobody wanted it. It was, I guess everyone said it was priced too high.
I don't understand. I know that neighborhood and the market's real strong where you live. And you're near the nice park and those good schools over there in Birmingham, aren't you?
It's an awesome house. I don't understand why it hadn't sold.
I don't either. What'd your realtor say when you asked her?
They're coming up with just some dumb excuses that, I mean, they want a couple of things fixed, and I don't think, like, they want a new roof, and the roof's 10 years old. So, I mean, they're just coming up with some excuses. I don't understand it.
I don't either. And forgive me for calling it being so abrupt. I'm a local investor, a realtor, and I think I might have a solution for your problem. If you really want to, you wouldn't want to sell this home in the next 30 days or less, would you?
So listen, I would, but I've heard the pitch before. The guys are going to come and lowball offer me, and I'm just not interested in that.
That's not what I would. No, I wouldn't do that to you. I look for one or two things: price or terms, sir. If there was a way I could help you, why are you selling this beautiful home? How many years you been in it?
We've been in it for about 7 years now.
Why don't you stay another 7? It's a nice neighborhood. Why?
It is a great neighborhood. We're looking to move to a different, kind of a little bit different. We want a little bit more acreage. We're looking to move to a little bit bigger of a house.
But there's no rush. If it happens 6 months, a year from now, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Well, I mean, it doesn't particularly matter. I mean, it doesn't matter like deeply, but I would rather sell it quickly if I could.
Okay.
It's not life or death.
Off the role play, if you're a person who's listening, first of all, you saw the pattern interrupt. I didn't use a scripted response. I went, boom, right away. I asked you questions right away. I tried to create an emotional environment right away. Why are you selling that? Why isn't that home sold already? I just, instead of saying, hi there, I'm an investor, lease purchasing, just reaching out to you today. I'm with Keller Williams. Instead of doing it that way, which they've heard countless times, you start with a pattern intro. Then I asked you questions. Then I did something called a little reverse psychology. I said, well, why did you stay in the home another 7 years? What did your realtor say? I'm forcing you to teach me how to sell you. Instead of giving the intellectual presentation, I'm getting you to do all the work and give me the ammo so that I know how to sell you.
And I was timing you.
A lot more fun. Yeah. Oh, was it? I don't even know. Was it under 3 minutes?
It was right at 3 minutes from off the role play. So I'm going to ask some specific questions about the role play that you just did. But while I've brought up the timer, what's the importance of getting people in 3 minutes to do what? And why is it important?
Life is short. Enjoy it and get to the point. How much time? What's the difference between a millionaire and someone who makes all the money they want and has a great life, and someone who just struggles and is always worried about money and more month-end bills? God gives everyone 24 hours in a day. Why do some people, the 1%ers I call them, how come they can make all the money in the world and the other 99% are always worried and struggling with money? What's the difference?
One is really time is the big difference. For me, yeah.
Time, 3 minutes. How much time have we had doing free consulting on the phone, getting in our car, driving in traffic, waiting for people to show up late, then finding out that they don't want to do the deal, don't have the money, don't want whatever, and then driving back home in traffic again. Does Birmingham have traffic?
Yeah.
Because California sure does.
So they just shut down the interstate too. So
really? Yeah. The weather?
No, they're tearing out all the bridges. The interstate right through the city is torn out.
Okay, so how do you get around? You visit 1 or 2 people a day driving in your car and all this stuff. You've wasted a whole day. How many people can I talk to on the phone, on video? I use a lot of video in my training. I teach people to use video often. And in 3 minutes or less, I can give you a score. We call that the Claude or the Guts barometer. On that role play we had before, you were probably a 3 or a 4 on a 1 through 10 scale. Okay, that means I have to do a lot more work to get you up to a 7 or 8, or I fire you. I have the right to fire the prospect. Don't you love that?
So in terms of motivation, I was like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. Is that what you're saying?
You were a 3 or 4. So and that's why I was doing, well, why don't you stay in the home another 7 years, Brian? I got to get you to see, we're not having what I call an adult to adult honest conversation. You're hedging. You don't know me just yet. I've opened the door a little. got you a little emotional. And then now I got to find out, why are you really selling that home? Because you just woke up one morning and said, hey, honey, we need a bigger place. What's the truth here? Yeah. Is it a financial reason? A move to better schools? Is it a health issue? What's the real truth here? Yeah. And if I can't find that true motivation, then I'm wasting my time with you. I'm never going to close you today. I could close you in the future and save my information. That's my follow-up marketing method. Maybe I'll call you in 30 days. Brian, Claude Diamond here. We spoke a month ago, and you haven't changed your mind about wanting to get out of that home a little bit faster, have you? And then I get back into it.
So, Claude, some people would argue that that's fine, but Claude, I don't have enough leads. Like I've only got so many leads. I don't want to go. I would rather have a 30 or 45-minute conversation. Teach me how to close everybody, and even if it takes 45 minutes.
Yeah, let's get back to the truth again. Okay, there's two kinds of marketing out there. There's just spending a lot of money and chasing, I call it blind marketing, where you buy a list, a phone list, an email list, a texting list, and you have your virtual assistant or your auto dialer call these people, mail these people, all takes time and overhead. And what's the quality of maybe 1/10 of 1% of all those calls, you get leads. What's the quality of those leads?
It's 1% that's an actual lead.
Is it an actual lead or is it a low quality? What's the quality of that lead actually? Okay, how about we do something where the algorithms are more in our favor?
Which is what?
I do something which is called virtual attraction marketing. It's a GU.T.S method that I developed and I've been influenced by people like Gary Vaynerchuk, who talk so much about social media. And when somebody woke up today in Birmingham and wants to buy or sell a home, what's the first thing they do in the digital world?
They Google it.
They Google it. Are they going to find Brian Trippe? Are they going to find, oh, look at this. He's got a video on Real, the best places to live in Birmingham. Oh, here's how to do a lease purchase in Birmingham and put a little money down and move into a house. Oh, here's a guy, his favorite restaurants, his favorite neighborhoods in Birmingham. This is a guy look, he does real estate, honey. Maybe he can help us get out of this one-bedroom apartment with our 3 kids and 5 chihuahuas. Okay, this is the thing. Can we attract people, and can we get them to go to our webpage, pick up the phone, God forbid, email us? Is that a quality? Is that a warm lead? Is that a better quality lead? And how much did it cost?
Yeah. Some time.
Okay.
Some your time and effort putting the stuff out.
The deals I have here, the deals I've done, the money that's coming in today these are people, my word of honor. People are coming in because they found me on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on all these wonderful social media that everybody goes to. And I pop up because I'm putting out compelling, interesting, non-commercial content. I'm giving away free books. I tell people I answer my phone. If I can put out every day for 1 hour a little bit of marketing, I attract the most wonderful, high-quality, warm prospects. Isn't that what we all want?
For sure. So, Claude,
I'm sorry, I'm not very enthusiastic about this today, but this is how I run my business, and it works for me. It would work for your audience. Instead, I think too much. You were talking about that unbelievable overhead that's out there. My gosh, how do you get started if you're spending more money than you're taking in? That's crazy.
You can. Claude, there might be someone listening to this and might be a little bit newer, and maybe you kind of persuaded them in your unique style to, you know what, maybe I do need to start doing things like this, the quality attractions type of marketing. What can one expect? Maybe someone who's got a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of personality. What can one expect to, as far as time goes, to actually start getting leads, getting people to call you?
I have seen, when I train people, my expectation, and it should be theirs, is 30 days or less. We can change your life in 30 days by putting out. I know right now I'm a secret to many people. Who's Claude Diamond and everything? But if I put out enough content, I like videos, you like podcasts, which is a brilliant form of marketing. Someone's going to watch this podcast today and say, Brian, can you help me? I have a property for sale. I want to buy a property. I want to invest in. Somebody's going to see your wonderful podcast program, REI Live, right?
Yes, sir.
And they're going to see it and they say, hey, you know what? I feel like I know you, Brian. I feel like you're transparent. I think like you're open. I can call you up. I not have to go through this gauntlet of people. I can get to you. You're going to help me buy my home, whatever. That's the kind of marketing that I think you can see amazing and fast results.
Yeah.
And this is the world we live in. What's the device that everybody has in their hand 24/7? Yeah.
It's awesome.
If that's what they're carrying, are they reading newspapers, magazines? Are they going to the millennials? Okay, you might be a millennial still. I don't know.
No,
I know
don't offend me. Don't offend me like that.
I know your beautiful, much younger wife is a millennial.
She is.
Okay. See, I am a sales trainer. But the thing about it is, millennials don't go to the post office. I have kids who are millennials. I know this. Yeah. They don't go to the post office. They don't watch TV with commercials on it very much anymore. They either go to Netflix or something. Blockbuster is out of business. We have to change with the times. What are those changes? Social media, quality content. Don't we all follow good podcasts or YouTube people we love to follow or things like that? Why don't we go into that kind of marketing?
Definitely. And just to add to what you're saying, if you're the person who's putting out the local content, if you want to buy houses in Birmingham, Alabama, wherever it might be, wherever you are, and you're putting out the local content, that you're the local home buyer, not that you want to buy everybody's home, but that hey, how do you do this? How do you do this? Hey, here's some ways that you could do this. Oh, you can't sell your house and you want full market value? Here's how to get terms. Here's how to actually do that. And put out valuable content. Not commercials for yourself, but valuable information. Your phone will ring off the hook. Not today, not tomorrow, but over time, as you consistently keep doing it, you're patient with it, it's going to happen.
We're in a society that's inundated by commercials. Even the supermarket has little TV screens all over. We get people who call us at dinner time and bother us. We even get texts, commercial texts from people. Do we want to, when we have our discretionary time, do we want to see commercials on YouTube or in Google? Do we want to see that? We want content. Do you ever go to a web page, you're looking for information, and that web page has lured you in? And you're getting you're not getting the information you want. Right. What do you do? What do you do instantly? Bleep, delete. Yep. You go to another web page. You only have a second to capture people's attention. Just a second, a millisecond, a nanosecond. Make sure it's compelling, interesting, attractive, humorous maybe. Tell stories. Share information with people. You will stop being a secret. They will contact you. They will follow up with you. Your business will explode. It works for me. It'll work for them.
Totally agree with that. Claude, I told you off air I was going to ask you a tough question.
I'm now. Okay. I'm ready. Let me take a sip.
All right, take a sip. Here's my question. I've read a couple of your early books, the first ones that you sent me. I've read the story. I've read the story about Max, your mentor. I want to know more about this Max character. First of all, is this a real person?
Yeah.
And was his name actually Max?
His name was Max, short for Maximilian. Is that perfect?
That was his real name?
His real name was Max, my word of honor.
You didn't make any of that up for the story?
Nope. And he was an amazing salesperson.
Do you still talk to this guy?
Oh, he's in G.U.T.S heaven right now. Been there for a while. Was an amazing guy. Lived to be, I believe, 90, 91. And he was one of those, Reader's Digest used to have the most interesting character you ever met in that book. And he was like that great, bigger than life character who, and he was an amazing, likable, charismatic person. He'd get on the phone, and that was the person who I said, wow, that's the secret sauce. Learning, how do people think? Empathy is the word I like. Empathy is what I really learned from him. How do people think? What's their oxygen? What's going on in there? How do we communicate with total strangers and make them like us, make us trust us, make them see us as an authority figure? And Max taught me that. I'd see him. I just would watch and listen, and I'd hear him sell. And it was amazing to me that you could do this magic on the phone. And this is the skill set that nobody's teaching,
right?
Except for a few of us. I know you're big on it. I'm so passionate about seeing people succeed by learning how to give good phone. The G.U.T.S system allows people to do that. Max had these ideas and everything, and I took it and I did the research, the psychological research and everything, and I put it into a simple 3-step system of learning how to ask questions and have courage, have confidence on the phone. That's what I got from Max. I'd be cleaning a Slurpee machine now if I didn't meet him.
That's awesome. Thank you for telling that story. I don't think I didn't know all that. Well,
I had to beg to see him. Successful people are also valuable with their time. Their time is very valuable to them.
Yeah.
They don't want to waste time. So I had to chase this guy, but it was worth it.
So going back to what you were talking about with influence and persuasion and things like being a great salesperson, you recommended this book to me it's going on 2 years, about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And this is a book I'm holding up a book by Robert Cialdini, Dr. Cialdini, wrote a book called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. You told me to get this book and read it. You told me it was the best book on influence and persuasion that you'd ever read. And I got it and I've read it and it blew my mind. And I've recommended it to so many people who have thanked me for recommending it. I just want to thank you publicly for sending me to this book. Talk about, for people who haven't heard of it or haven't read it, talk about what that has done. You said you did some research, psychological research. What did that book do specifically to help you in the research and help you with your sales?
It outlined the 6. I even have it on my whiteboard back here. I don't know if your audience can see it. I have the 6 reasons why. The question to ask is, why are some people so successful in sales? Why is that those 1%ers once again? What are they utilizing? And Cialdini went into, who was head of psychology, I think head of psychology, University of Phoenix or something like that. And I've studied other people, Dr. Eric Byrne, transactional analysis. What are the different roles people play? Ego states. How does emotions play into it? Cialdini said, though, that people buy for certain reasons. Mm-hmm. They buy from salespeople because number one, they like them. They like them. Likability sometimes leads to trust. When you have trust with a prospect, it's a blank check then. Okay? People buy from other people because they're an authority figure. You go to your doctor, your lawyer. When you have a problem, you respect their knowledge, their education, their authority on that. They buy because of that. They buy because of scarcity sometimes. There's not enough houses on the market and the prices are going up. Well, I better jump on this right now before I lose it. They buy because of reciprocity. If I do something nice for you, do I have you ask me for a favor, do I have the right to ask for a favor back? Hey, Brian, now that we've talked about this and I answered all your questions, if I send you an agreement today, can you get it back to me? Could you do me a personal favor? Because I want to work hard selling your home. Could you get me back the agreement before 4:30 this afternoon? Would you mind doing that for me, buddy?
Yeah.
Boom. That's reciprocity on that. And I missed one. Oh, consistency. You got consistent behavior. You're getting people up the yes ladder. Can I get you to say yes a few times in a row? Can I control the whole conversation in the process? And then G.U.T.S took all my studies from Cialdini and Byrne and Harris and other people who I've read and just put it together in a very simple 3-step system of learning how to ask the right questions at the right time and feel wonderfully confident about yourself. Not a bully or a braggart or an intimidator, but just feel good. You know, when you feel good about yourself, guess how many phone calls you can make in a day?
As many as you can.
As many as you want, because it's fun. We've made sales so scary. And sales is dangerous to a lot of people. It's, my ego is going to get bruised. I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to get rejected. Let me clean the toilet before I make those sales phone calls. Yeah. You know? And we got to get away from that stuff. We got to make sales so comfortable. We got to take care of ourselves first. I always say the salesperson comes first. Especially if you're doing business honestly, ethically, you're giving great value. Why can't you come first? Why can't you put mac and cheese on your family's table?
It's awesome stuff.
Yeah. And Cialdini was very good in that. A lot of it is common sense, but in most people who are selling are scripted. That's a dirty word in the G.U.T.S language. Okay, they're saying the same boring thing again, and they're doing an intellectual presentation, features and benefits. People make decisions emotionally. We got to hit that emotional chord with the words we use, the stories we tell. If we can make that connection with people, man, you can make an awful lot of money.
Yeah. Awesome stuff, Claude. You are incredible. I love speaking to you every time we do this. It's just great. It's great stuff. It helps me kind of get back into the into the just being, like you said, just being likable and just doing things for other people. Reciprocity. You miss social proof, by the way, which you are.
Social proof. You're right. I stand corrected.
You're incredible at that. I mean, social proof, just the fact that other people are out there affirming you and confirming that you are who you say you are. And I just think it's incredible. You do an incredible job with that.
I have testimonials, live video testimonials. Somebody asked me, let's do one quick role play. Do we have another minute?
Let's go, yeah.
Ask me for references. This is one of my favorite role plays. We might have done it last time, but it's worth it.
No, I don't think we did any role plays last time. So
well, let me do it. I'll ask you first. You do the amateur, and then we'll reverse roles. Do you, Mr. Trippe, this sounds too good to be true. Do you have references?
Sir, of course I have references.
Yeah. You're the amateur now.
I know. I am the amateur.
Oh, okay. No.
That's what I would say, sir. Yes, Mr. Seller. Of course, I have references. How would you like for me to get those to you? Would you like
just send me your references, and I'll think about it, and I'll get back to you in the near distant future.
Well, so this is my Claude Diamond impersonation. I'm sorry. I don't have time. You know, I'm on there. I'm in the airport terminal. I may not have time. I'm changing a diaper.
Yeah. I have to protect the privacy of these people. I don't really have any, so I've got to lie about it, right? That's what the amateur does. In G.U.T.S, when someone asks us for social proof, is basically his references. I say I reward them, but I also get a close and a commitment. Let's try that role play before we end.
All right, let's do it.
Go ahead. Ask me for references.
So, I don't even know who you are. I mean, do you?
My wife said the same thing on our honeymoon. Yeah.
Do you do you have a phone number of someone I might be able to call just to kind of check? Do you have like a website, something like that? I can just check to see who you are.
You know what? Thank you for asking. If I was in your position, we just met. You don't know me that well, and you're checking out. And I thank God you asked me for references. I love giving my sales. The people I've done business with are my invisible sales force. How many would you like?
I mean, let's just start with one or two.
No. I got much more. I have many more references than that. Let me give you 5, maybe 10. How many do you think you can call before 4:30 this afternoon? Probably
just 1 or 2, but
okay. I'll send you a whole bunch. If they meet with your Mr. Trippe, can I call you Brian? I'm Claude, by the way.
Sure.
Mr. Trippe, if these people meet and vouch for my veracity, and they meet with your expectations, what happens when we speak at 4:30 on video this afternoon?
I just want to check you out, and I just want to make sure that everything's okay. And then if it is, there might be some business to be done.
Might be or will be.
I got to check you out first. We got to see.
You check me out once again, sir. Same question. These people say that I can help you solve your problem, and they vouch for my veracity. And I'm not withholding anybody. I'm giving you as many as you want. What happens at 4:30? It's okay to say no to me. It's not okay to waste my time.
I think I'm there. I just want to kind of give it a little bit of thought as well. So
okay. So can we do business at 4:30? If these people say that I can help you, and you feel good about me as I feel about you, can we do business at 4:30, or is it over?
I think there's a good chance we could do business.
You think yes, or you think no?
I think it's possible. Yes.
Okay, you're using these wishy-washy words, sir. What's it going to take to get a commitment from you?
Well, how about we do this? How about I send me the testimony.
I get the feeling there's another problem we need to discuss. It's not the money, is it?
I just want to give it a little bit of thought. I got to get my wife involved. I haven't even talked to her.
Here it comes. Here it comes. See, you never know what you're going to learn in a role play. This is why the book that I'm giving away to everybody who goes to ClaudeDiamond.com, in this book are role plays. Just like we just did. See, we just had a moment where I finally got to the truth. You finally said, well, I really got to talk to my wife. She wears the pants in the family. Okay, so now I can fix it. I say, well, listen, why don't we talk to your wife first, talk to her and everything, before we do all these references, another meeting and everything. Why, if your wife is going to say no, that's okay, but why don't we find out right now? Can you get her on the phone, or can we schedule another meeting with your lovely better half? Yeah. Boom. Who's in control? Who's in charge?
Claude is in control.
And this is, and you heard, I started to get a little authoritarian on you.
Yeah.
Because you were giving me, you got to listen acutely to these wishy-washy, maybe, probably words. What are they really saying, Brian?
There's something holding them back. There's another issue. There's another underlying issue that you have not addressed.
So the best references in the world still will not get us to a
Correct.
deal, will it?
And I've found that people who are asking for references, there really is something that's underlying, and it's not the reference piece. It's something else.
And this comes to the quintessential question: whose responsibility is it to find that out?
Yours.
Yeah,
100%.
It's all. It's the same. My mentor Max used to always say, there's no such thing as a bad prospect. There's only crappy. He didn't say the word crappy either. He said the S word. He said there's only crappy salesperson because you didn't have the guts to ask the tough questions.
No.
And this is what G.U.T.S teaches.
It's awesome. Rules of the G.U.T.S sales method. Claude, tell us one more time how we can get that book.
Go to my webpage, Claude Diamond. Trippe. There's a little play. You click on the button that says free book, and then you get a little message there say, I love Brian Trippe. I'll send you a free $99 digital book right away. Has all my 50 rules of the G.U.T.S sales method and a lot of good role plays like we did today. Man, this was fun.
This is awesome. It cut out right when you said the website. I heard everything else. What's the website? One more time. ClaudeDiamond.com. It could not be easier than that. We're going to link all that up in the show notes. Claude, before we go, one last thing I want to mention. I want to thank you one more time. Claude was the very first out-of-state guest we ever had at our RIA here in Birmingham. Came in June of 2017. By the way, that entire keynote is on YouTube. We will link that up in the description as well, so you guys can go watch that. Claude knocked it out of the park. We
had a lot of fun. We laughed a lot. We had a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, because I love doing your audience was so great in Birmingham. The role plays and everything. I had so much fun on that trip.
Claude did an incredible job. If you want to watch that, you can go to YouTube. We'll link that up in the show notes and in the description. Claude, thank you so much again for all that, not only what you've done for me and my wife, my family, but what you've done for Birmingham and the entire real estate investing community. We love you so much and appreciate you.
I love you guys too. Name your next child. You're going to name Claude, right?
We're done. Thank you, though.
Thank you so much. This was great.
Thanks, Claude. Guys, hit the subscribe button. We love you so much. You're not going to believe it. If you thought Claude was great, we got some more incredible guests lined up that are just going to provide some incredible content for you guys. We love you. Hit subscribe. We'll see you next time.